day, end of Monday, Tuesday to sort of get an idea on the trend for the week, I guess. If there is a trend for the week, I don't know if many of you read my corner this morning, but for the past 3 weeks now, BTC has almost driven from our weekly open, right from the Monday night. Sometimes front running the New York Open, so a lot of the time participants were front running the New York Open and front running the potential spot bid that would build up. And again here, right, we had that weekly open drive and eventually sold off, and sort of similar we've sort of seen a similar thing for the past few weeks, right? Or the past 2 weeks at least. We get this like weekly open drive, pull back on Tuesday and continue, right? We've got the weekly open drive, pull back on Tuesday and then continue. This time around we didn't necessarily get the pullback. This week you sort of had a similar thing. You did get a push up and pull back and just continue to chop. And again here, right, back on this Monday open, right, we had people aping into the open and pull back on Tuesday and then continued, right? So it's been fairly consistent in what price action is doing, and likely participants front running the New York Open and front running the expected spot bid, right, spot ETF bid that we have been seeing. Back end of last week, we did see a drop off in the bid. The buys coming in was there was a significant decrease, a noticeable decrease at least. So for now, I think very telling today and the start of the week how this week will potentially play out. We'll cover reasonings, basically what I wrote in my corner, reasonings for closing out my spot in profit on the weekend, and just wait until I got back to my PC today and to discuss a new plan and talk about what we can expect for the week and kind of what I want to see to get back in, right? So one thing I don't like, I'll talk about ETH afterwards, but for now BTC, obviously we can talk about BTC first, but I dislike the deviation above our 2021 all-time high, right? So obviously acted as a rejection point, failed to move up from there, and eventually we got the break, retest, good, and sort of fizzled out, right? So the first time back obviously gave a really nice bounce, and the second time back considerably weaker bounce. And what we are seeing, right, and is going to be fairly simple for us to be risk back on, right, is two things. One is the reclaim of our 2021 all-time high, right, back obviously from 2021. We're consolidating around here, but if we look on the daily, for me this is toppy price action for now, right? When we have a test of the whatever level, doesn't have to be an all-time high area, it can be any level you want, right? You see this PA all over the shop, right? We have this initial test of the all-time high region, then we have the break above all-time high, in which, right, participants have probably attempted to break this out, attempted to chase whatever price has attempted to break this all-time high level. And now after 2 retests of that region, right, we saw on the 4-hour we had like 1 and 2 retests of this region. Now we are deviating back below, right? So what we have is this failed break at all-time high here, and then what we're left with is this, what some people call as over-unders, some people call as like a head and shoulders, right? We have the first test, the deviation, and now potentially looking at getting our second test this week. And for me, this second test is going to be very telling on further price action and whether we are going to go up or whether we are going to go down before potentially go higher again, right? Not even potentially, for me, end goal is that we are going to go a lot higher this year, but it's just at which point do we go a lot higher, right? So this week I'm watching this 2021 all-time high. Not only that, obviously it's clearly a significant price point for BTC. And if we do manage to break this sort of structure, right, and push higher, then it'll be a great sign. And I think we look at making, you know, new all-time highs. And even on the lower time frame, structure does look kind of bottomed for now. Again, we have this over-under setup, which is what I was just talking about, right? We have this support area, then we have what we can see as a deviation under that support, and now reclaiming this region. So structure-wise looks fairly solid, but overall, I need to see a break back above this 2021 all-time high before I decide on seeing upside again for the week coming. This is you know, a strong trend, downtrend for now, or at least was, right? So what we have is a low that was rejected, right? So low rejected again here, low formed, rejected. Then we had a low form, rejected here. But looking at now, you know, potentially flipping this lower high structure, right, to now maybe putting in a reversal setup. But I can't long into, you know, the lower time frame looks fine, but when we look at the higher time frame and seeing what we're dealing with, right, with this all-time high deviation, like, it doesn't look good for now. We need to invalidate this for me, which is why I sort of sold all my spot. I'm happy to you know, this is a toppy sign for me, and along with other things which I'll go over in a minute. It's just it's a sign for me to be cautious here, right? And you know, something I need to learn from in the past is not getting sucked into this idea of market will just continue to go up only and market will never pull back. And that's what led me to take losses in the prior bull run. Was I was new to the market, right, and I got sucked into this mindset of thinking, oh no, you know, just ignoring the chart and ignoring or listening to the noise more so, right? If you go on Twitter, everyone's saying like 80k, whatever. You got all these influencers telling you everything, right? So, you know, this time around, really looking at the chart and acting upon how I feel. And this is clearly how I feel with the deviation is not good for me. It's not what I want to see. And then if we do flip this, then happy days, right? We run to 80k plus. But until we get this flip, for me, I think we can probably continue to roll over, maybe into 60 to 58k, which if we do get, is a fantastic area to buy in. Yeah, the lower time frame definitely is showing signs of bottoming, right? The lower time frame definitely is looking better than it did over the weekend, like with this sort of reclaim here and this deviation. But I need to watch a flip here, right? If we get something like this, that's perfect, right? Because what we do is we scale back into spot, whatever, spot BTC, we long BTC, we long whatever with you know, as like a beta play, right? And from there, after this reclaim, our invalidation is just the idea that if we flip here, right, and we're looking for continuation, our validation is for this trade would be as if we just dropped back below that 2021 all-time high, because likely once what we've got there is again this failed reclaim, and then we have this deviation and we probably drop, right? So that's something to also be careful of. Is this attempt on the lower time frame at reclaiming the 2021 all-time high and sort of rolling over. I think you could probably see potentially participants get trapped into this region and then we drop, right? So I'm looking for a really strong reclaim, ideally on one of the higher time frames, rather than just looking on the hour chart and watching for a flip on the hourly. Because I could imagine that maybe this week we sort of drive Monday/Tuesday, we trap some participants into this breakout and then we send it back lower again. Right, so for that reason, you know, I'm watching the higher time frame for this flip rather than the lower time frame, and just simply observing for now. And like I said, if we do get any drop towards sort of 60 to 58k, that's a fantastic buy opportunity. BTC definitely looks a lot better than ETH ETH, you know, structure wise, I can remove all this now. These were my spot bids, but you know, ETH structure wise still is not looking fantastic, right? Every low that's formed is like acting as like resistance for price to reject from, right? So the trend is strong for now. So low formed, rejected, low formed, rejected, low formed, rejected, right? And obviously with Sol performing really well at the moment and Sol ETH almost making new all-time highs, kind of makes sense that ETH is clearly lagging here. Made all-time highs on Binance Pair, but not on Coinbase Pair yet and elsewhere. Probably ignore Kraken, but so yeah, for ETH, I'm kind of lost interest in this again. You know, back end of last week, I was looking for something like this. I was looking for something we had 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, with this sharp drop and then this bounce, right? This is the sort of fill I was looking for on ETH at the back end of last week into our spot bids, right? This was the sort of fill I was looking for. Something like this, and then bounce, and then we run. But instead, you know, we're just sort of slowly filling into these bids, and I don't like it. I don't like it with the structure. I haven't really looked at momentum. You know, even ETH had this toppy PA last week, right? Which is what I spoke about in my multi-time frame report I put out Thursday or Wednesday last week, right? The signs here are that, you know, there's no signs that we're completely bottom just yet. And looking at the high time frame on BTC, it says to me that it wants lower for now, right? Until we flip back above sort of like 69 to 70k. It says to me that we want lower. So that's it kind of regarding majors. Like chart wise, fine. But then also JD put out a good tweet, right? Not so long ago, which is sort of another reason to be cautious here. And when meme coin mania, right? Obviously we've been having meme coin mania, like meme coins have been performing considerably well. And you know, when they did, back when we did initially start to trend on meme coins, people were thinking, oh, we're like already near the top, and they carried on to do multiple, you know, 4 to 5x moves, right? I remember like back in February when meme coins were like breaking higher, everyone was thinking that we were like mega topped, and then they just continued to perform really well. But this time around it's slightly different, right? The idea that we're getting this Slurf coin ran from 0 to 500 mil market cap today. Obviously we had the Bohm coin, which went from like 0 to 1.5 bill in less than a week market cap, which is just fucking crazy. GCR bought with NFT for 4 mil, and you know, Whiff is making a 20% move out of it, and other meme coins aren't following, which in, you know, history, when we were getting meme coin moves from anything, everything else was following, and you know, this time around we're not seeing that. Like meme coins look pretty weak at this point, like potentially topped for the time being, especially something like Bonk kind of looks like it done a complacency bounce and now losing its structure. If it does reclaim here, then fine, we can look for higher, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Bonk roll back into 0.02 before higher. There's just signs across the board here to be definitely cautious, and obviously we have had, you know, on BTC we saw a 12% pullback, and on ETH we've seen a 16% pullback. But in history, right, we can say market potentially has matured, blah blah blah. We could see further downside for ETH, like 3K, 25% move off the highs. That seems like a fantastic buy opportunity. You know, equally for BTC, back down towards like 20% move, like 58K. Could be anywhere from like 60 to 58K is a great buy. You know, until we get back above here, sort of expecting it to drop. And in that case, most altcoins will obviously follow, right? So with, I actually kind of have interest in shorting this. Where's my chart gone? So yeah, this looks, again, potentially like a complacency bounce, right? So by complacency bounce, I mean, you know, with looking at previous history for WIF, when we saw these sort of sharp sell-offs, right, we do get that reclaim back above the highs, yeah, especially after something spikes up. You know, this time around, what we're getting is this spike up, right? So price is trending, spike up, and then we come down, and when we're bouncing, right? And on this bounce, we're looking at something like this, and this is what we're looking at, a complacency bounce and potentially tops. And obviously we're kind of getting that here with that spike up, right? The walk up, the spike, drop, and now we're getting that bounce, right? So this could, for me, be potentially topped, but I'm not going to short into strength just yet. I kind of want to see some sort of low time frame trigger to get in, right? And that would be, you know, swept these highs into this sort of 1 hour order block, you know, 1 hour order block that broke structure to the downside, swept some liquidity to the upside. If we do start to see a deviation here back under these prior highs, likely we drop back down towards today's low. You know, and also why I wait for these triggers, right? If I'm taking a short here, one, we're looking at flipping these highs, but you know, one reason, if I take a short here, my stop really is going to be, you know, 13%, maybe above the highs, maybe above this order block, right? Whereas if I get this low time frame trigger and we get this confirmed deviation, what we have is a short here. Obviously the target is still the same, but the invalidation would just be if we broke back above here, right? If we dropped and failed to hold below here, then that's my whatnot. Jup alerts are going off. Probably my favorite coin to watch today. If it loads. Pretty nice parabola to the upside here. But kind of looks like just consolidation before, you know, a next leg up, right? So we get move, consolidation, move, consolidation, move, right? Kind of what we're seeing here, move, consolidation, move, right? But obviously 145 seems to be that point to flip now. Rejecting once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, you know, 6 times now. Until we get that break, I can't physically long it into this region. Or maybe if we swept this lows, something like that, I could long. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say at the moment. Lower time frame on majors do look kind of bottomed. ETH definitely doesn't to me. BTC more so, but holding off as I won't go over it again, but holding off until we see a break above 2021 all-time high. and likely we can target like 80k plus from there, and fill spot. But ideal entries for spot now, 3k and 60 to 58 is ideal. If we get that, that's lovely. Any sort of, backfilling the wicks from start of March as well, right? Backfilling these wicks. If you get fills towards there, there'll probably be generational entries for a while as well. Like if we look at BTC run up, like if we look at how it reacted to 2017 all-time high, did get this cool off, right? How much did it pull back after breaking? Only like 10%. I think ETH's a better example. To 11%. At this point on the high time frame, I think 63k will hold, right? But we probably set some stink bids for under there, right? Just so that we could catch a wick. If we sort of reject this week, catch a wick in, we probably run it up like that. But on the high time frame, 63k should hold. And on the lower time frame, probably just wick in and back out again. AI conference this week, I think started today actually. This looks fucked, man. That's what I've been saying about ETH BTC. You just simply wait for this 3-day downtrend to be broken, and then you're on the money. But for now, I just don't think ETH outperformance is going to come. Obviously, with the increase in SOL ETH, went over that chart already, but. Here looks cooked as well. Maybe long. Anything. It's 40% off the highs now. The tier chart's pretty simple, right? We've what's daily? Okay. So that's probably the range. Tier, I think, if we drop any more, anywhere sub $12 seems like a good opportunity to get in. Like 12 down to 10. But your best case from here, if we bounce, is just watch for the reclaim of this low and probably puts in that really nice deviation and move higher again. Don't know if this looks giga strong. So yeah, back to what I was saying about this. Just overall signs of the market potentially getting into mania phase and likely see a wipeout. I also had on Saturday, I also have a friend rang me saying he was, a guy who he doesn't trade too much, but he just rang me saying that he was making 10x's daily over on Bays, like on chain, right? Like shilling it to me. It's all kind of like red flags. Joe, I can chart Joe. Yeah, you can send some chart requests if you want now. AVAX coin, isn't it? I don't know really what to say about this. It's just up only, really, isn't it? If you're lucky, you could probably bid towards 8.4. If you're lucky. Market pulls back. Strong though. Although I said that about near on whenever I streamed, I was like, said on Friday, I think I streamed. I can't remember. I said, oh, I'd be surprised if you got some fills, if you could get filled towards 7.4 and, you know, pulled back like 25%. So it's easily doable. Like 8.5 could be a really nice entry for Joe if you could get it. 25% move, 27% move. Probably target 1.5 plus from there. This chart is just cursed, isn't it? Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Just deviated the breakout. Just fizzling, right? Fizzling out. The market pull back anymore, you just bid sub 30 again, to be honest. If you could get it on inch. Again, with a chart like this, it's the same, right? Structure for me looks, you know, weak until it flipped, right? This prior low area rejected, this prior low area rejecting, right? You kind of want to see this price action getting validated. If this does something like this, right? If inch sort of drops under these prior lows and rejects again, then that's bad news. But if we did get this flip again, then what you've done, you've invalidated this PA, right? Then once you get that flip, you probably look at putting in a reversal. %25% call off the highs though. Yeah, if you got this breakout and flip, it could look pretty nice on inch this week. Something like that. Back above 43. Value-wise as well, BTC looks alright here. You know, trying to sort of attempt at reclaiming this previous week val and almost retesting this developing quarterly and yearly value area high. So it's not too bad. The real test is going to be, yeah, if we break towards this sort of region here, the developing monthly value area high and the prior weekly VWAP. And that's that region that I was talking about, right? Getting back above here on the higher time frame, and we could probably continue. Someone said looks. I haven't looked at this in ages. Are you talking about this VWAP, Jummy, or the lists I have? So this blue list I just is like my CN list. So if I go to this chart, for example, at the top left on TradingView, I can select it as a whatever color. So the blue list for me is usually coins that are strong or got like a narrative or something I'm keeping an eye on for a trade or whatever. This is my CN list, and I update this probably every day. Some days I'll remove stuff, some days I'll add stuff. It's just so I don't have to every time I log on to TradingView, I don't have to sit here in the Binance Perp list and scroll through all of these coins every day, right? Which I do sometimes to refresh the list, but it's just that list I can get onto every day, and I can keep track of what I'm actually watching for that week. It just keeps it more organized. And my red list, this is coins that I have interest in spot, have got spot, or would like to get spot, right? Or have spot limits, like anything spot related. For me, this is my red list. So the APT, obviously mega strong. This is on my list. ARB, I do like this if ETH does show strength, which is not the case. Doge on my list. ENS on my list. ETH on my list. FET on my spot list. HBAR, see, that was on my list from when I did have limit orders, but I don't anymore, so remove that. ING on my list. Audi. So yeah, these are just spot coins that I have interest in buying or holding spot in. And the green list is higher time frame. Where's the list gone? The green list is higher time frame breakouts. So the likes of weekly charts that look solid and have potential. So for me, this just keeps it organized. I know what, like, I know when I get onto TradingView, like what I'm looking at. And if I have this list of all these coins I know are close to weekly breakouts, I can go and see, okay, how are these doing now, rather than me losing them. In this case, right, we can see all of these have this similar weekly PA and are yet to be breaking out, right? They have this, like CRV, for example, they have this like weekly downtrend. Yeah, organization is key. It just adds to efficiency. You don't spend time like wasting pointless hours scanning multiple charts when I have them here ready. And then also the baskets, so China coins, ETH coins, meme coins, Sol coins, stocks, and these are like newer listing coins. And I can share these as well. I did share them in my questions. If you go to my questions section, in the pinned is where I started to send all the lists. So you can go there and find them. My drip alert's going off. Let's see if this is going to give us an entry now. First, see how we react off these highs, but watching for a breakout here. System-wise today, I couldn't long it this morning, really. Like, I couldn't long it into this area. Like, it's rejected from this region like 6 times, right? In hindsight, obviously would be a nice profit here. Up like 8%, so what can you do? Add to the list Gal. I did have Gal on there. I did have it on there. It's got a good high time frame chart. So some of these weekly retests that we can get if the market pulls back will be great opportunities to get in, right? For Gal, for example, like a 30% pullback, fill this weekly fair value gap. They should be textbook setups, like you just buy spot and hold on these retests. Like Gal should just drop here and bounce if it's going to go. Yeah, I add it to my green list. Leaf looks terrible, man. It looks like he just wants to roll over again. Value-wise, it doesn't look too bad, right? It doesn't look too bad. We're holding above the 2021 value area high, right? Which for 2021 did act as a pretty nice place to hold, right? We can see back here, we held above it quite nicely, but equally did go back to test the developing sort of a yearly VWAP, which is what would be quite nice here for ETH, is if we did get that drop into like 3K to test the developing yearly VWAP, like fast and out. You know, from there we're looking at like a 30% pullback off the highs, which is not completely abnormal. 37% pullback. 30% pullback. Obviously quite larger. 60% pullback. 30% pullback, right? And as of right now, only seen a 17% pullback, but Harry made a good point last week. I think too many people were expecting a fast drop last week, which is why usually we never get it. These sort of pullbacks will come when people least expect them, which is why it's always really good to have stinky bids. Which is why I had stink bids set, but they filled very slowly, and I closed my ETH out in small profits. Like what we're looking for is just cascade and then bounce, right? I did open looks, but I took it in. I'm actually going to set also alerts for this because it looks nice. Isn't this it's like NFT, right? Looks. It's like Metacoin. Thoughts on Pepe moving for World Frog Day in 2 days? I mean, yeah, it's definitely something. It's not out the blue, right? We saw ladies move for International Women's Day. Depends if it picks up. Some narratives just don't pick up, right? But it's possible. What's Pepe chocolate? Like this looks, again, this looks shitty, right? This looks terrible here. But until we invalidate this structure, for me, I see no reason why we don't move lower, right? Until we sort of get something like this out of Pepe and potentially put in a deviation, which would be solid, and a reclaim. Like this looks terrible. Looks like it wants to drop more. Not a bad weekly reclaim here, to be honest. It's not a bad weekly reclaim, that's for sure. Monthly looks pretty nasty, but obviously still got 2 weeks left for that. Yeah, not bad. Not bad drop. Have I muted? Oh, how long have I been muted for? That's a fucking pain. Oh, okay. I don't know how that happened. Did you hear what I was talking about with Pepe? Oh, I was just saying this is the sort of PA that looks top to me, right? And we are seeing this across the board until Pepe does like put in a deviation and reclaim here. I see no reason why this is, you know, not a bearish retest for lower, and likely, you know, Pepe's seen 30%. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull 50% more to the downside on these meme coins, like maybe even 30% from here, right? Like, you simply cannot ignore this price action, right? Rejecting. But yeah, looks okay. Looks okay. Like the weekly, nice weekly reclaim here. Daily has the potential for a big breakout, but not just yet, right? This, you know what I'm gonna see. This is when I would add a coin to my green list, right? Because I know my green list are all filtered to have charts with similar PA to this. When we have this huge weekly potential breakout, and then, you know, a reclaim, just keeps it organized. Otherwise, I end up with 100 coins in one list, and it's just it's too much. How long have we been live for? 47 minutes. I recorded this, so if you hopped in late, you can go and watch the stream after, where I sort of discuss my overall thoughts towards the market. Gonna work on some, you know, whilst the market's like this, I'm gonna work on some educational content this week. Get some stuff into the group. I know probably getting a lot of new people joining, and some people who are, you know, just need to get the basics in, like have a little basics course for most people to follow. Even simple stuff, just like finding support and resistance, do you know? Yeah, get work on some content. It's hard to, when the market's good, it's hard to juggle content and trades at the same time and be doing both. So use this slow period to make use of myself elsewhere. Charts. FET. So yeah, FET, I had spot bids layered here. I still do like these spot bids. There's $2 to $2. I think this can still be a really nice place. I might re-layer them this week, but for now, kind of nice reclaim, right? This is the PA that does interest me, right? Bearish retest. So from there on that bearish retest, I'm expecting price to go lower, but now we've reclaimed here. This can hold and move higher. But obviously we've got AI conference this week for like next 3 days, I think, 18th to 21st. So with these conferences, sometimes it's hard to say how market will react. Obviously, how well AI has trended into it. Obviously, if good news does come out for AI or certain projects, then that will lead to nice moves on altcoins. But maybe afterwards they could get a call off after the conference. They could maybe get a call off, but it's all in the unknown, right? Until it actually happens. If FET did want to give us a nice sell-off from this high, like a 30% move down, that'd be perfect. Nice place to bid, I think. $2 to $2. Nice whole number, $2. And probably from there we could maybe target $5. Might be a nice play this week, actually. Just an intraday play. Right, range here. Keep an eye on it. This is just like controlled selling, right? Someone is just T-wopping out. Right, we could probably call that stream there, unless you guys want some more charts. Go eat some lunch. And then start working on some content. If there is anything specific you guys would like me to work on, and like content you want to put out, just feel free to send it in my questions, right? Vanry. Like, now's the time if the market's going to be a little bit slow. We know how fast it can pick up again. I should have been watching this. That was a nice retest. Maybe wait for a bit of the higher time frame. Maybe something like this. I'll check Vanry in a sec. Something like this. Legit. Could be nice. Simple structure flip. Similar PA to drip, right? Really. Almost identical. Do they have any relation? Is this a soul coin? I don't know what this is. Excuse me. And I swear every time I come on stream, like my stomach just starts going mad. I'm not even starving, you know. This has nice potential for another leg up. That was the reclaim on Sunday. There. Maybe if you got a drop, could be a nice entry. Like I don't know if it will give it though. Something like that. But it's the same situation with drip, right? Strong resistance here. Maybe on that flip, you got two trades here right now for a long. Flip 032. Look for a long. You'd also get this nice, meme line breakout. Or long towards 027. Validation under this low. Something like that. No. Yeah, I think direction will be telling this week. Back above 70k on BTC, we will trade towards 80k. BTC is showing much clearer signs of a bottom rather than ETH, so it's gonna be what I want to watch this week now. But yeah, back above 70k this week. I expect probably a move back into 80k plus new highs. We're watching how we're reacting off this drive, the Monday drive, right? Same thing we've been seeing for the past few weeks now, right? Which Monday drive, Tuesday pullback, and then a move, right? Monday drive. This didn't pull back on a Tuesday. Slowed down on a Tuesday, but Monday drive, Tuesday pullback, move, Monday drive, Tuesday pullback. So that's that would be ideal, right? Maybe a bit more drastic, but Monday drive, pullback on Tuesday, maybe a slightly large pullback. We get that deviation right that I said above that 2021 all-time high, trap a bunch of breakout traders into this region, sell off, and then go. I think that would be my A plus plan this week if it was to play out. I think if we go to break sort of 70k and deviate back below, likely we shoot for 58 and then run it up again. Trap a bunch of people in here. Because I feel like no one would really expect that like we did last week, right? Everyone was expecting this sharp drop, and something like that would really catch everyone off guard, because I can guarantee it, most people waiting for this flip, right? Anyway, just speculating, chatting shit. Have a good week. We'll be live probably once or twice more this week. Maybe we do an educational stream or something rather than market talk. Yeah. Any questions?